So when we look at the Lord's Prayer, when we look starting at verse 9, and we're going to get into the whole prayer tomorrow, but we look at verse 9 and where he's saying, then this is how you should pray. It's not a formula to gain God's favor. It's an expression of trust in a Father who already knows our heart, who already knows what's on our heart to pray. And he's waiting for us as his children to come to him with our need. God wants our dependence on him. And so Jesus is not saying to pray this prayer verbatim. And, like I just said earlier, we read together that it's not about repetition. In fact, he compares that repetition to the pagans. And yet sometimes what we see in some churches is people repeat this prayer over and over every single Sunday because Jesus said it's a model prayer. But what that does is it denies the heart of what he's saying, and it showcases this importance we have of reading in context. Because if you just take these verses, then this is how you should pray, and you always pray this prayer in repetition, you're ignoring the things he said right above it where he's saying, don't pray in repetition. Because there's a danger when we use repetition in our prayer life. This danger is that, well, number one, it can lead to the complacency that we even talked about last week. And it leads to the sense of just this formalism that dangers us of just checking out. We can just kind of get into autopilot mode and our hearts will check out, our minds will check out. And the whole point of prayer is to connect with God.